So, hello, dear friends. This morning, Venerable Sumpton forwarded to me a few messages from different people asking how I was after my total hip replacement surgery. So I thought to just say hi to all of you and let you know how I am. So, the surgery was on November 2nd. I had a very good surgeon. I was very well taken care of at the hospital. And Venerable Jigme, who is an RN and also a PA, had prepped me very well beforehand on how to use a walker and a cane and all these kinds of things. So I spent one night in the hospital and then I came back. And I've been recuperating in my room. I can't really go anywhere. I go to physical therapy a couple of times a week, and I get my exercise walking around the deck of Prajna Cottage where I live. But to go out on the gravel roads and go down to Chenrezig Hall is a bit too much for my legs right now. So I started out walking using a walker, da, 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 and it's 2.5 weeks now since the surgery, so I am learning to walk without the walker and now use a cane. So I can do my Winston Churchill impersonation of walking with great dignity using a cane. But one thing I have that Winston didn't have is one of these great things. It comes in something called a hip kit. And so it's for people like me who, because of the surgery, we cannot reach things that are high or low or across. So if I want to pick up my jacket and wave it like a flag, I can do it like this. Okay. So, like I said, I've been very well taken care of. The nuns are taking good care of me. My cat likes to step on the leg that had the surgery. She's learning. And I've had plenty of time to really think about things, and especially the kindness of others, which I think is a really important meditation to always keep in our mind, and how interdependent we are. Because if I just think of this surgery and how many people were involved in just even making the equipment and designing the surgical technique, because my surgeon used a comparatively new technique called the anterior approach, where they cut you in front instead of in back. There was the anesthesiologist, so many nurses, the physical therapist, occupational therapist, the RN on the desk, on the floor, the people who took me for walks in the middle of the night, and then, of course, coming back here to the Abbey, and so many people offering food, so that, even in the middle of the pandemic, we are very well taken care of. So just really seeing all the kindness around me has been quite stupendous. People often ask me about the pain, and yes, it hurts. They told me before the surgery it was going to hurt. It's natural. We have a body, and the body is prone to pain. It's created out of afflictions and karma, and so to expect anything else would be stupidity. So, the doctor and other people told me about this before, and so I was prepared. It's been an interesting study of pain, because sometimes I have these very sharp, searing pain on the upper thigh, sometimes this lower aching pain on my lower thigh and my calf. So it's interesting to just see how pain comes, how pain goes. Every once in a while the thought comes in my mind, oh, it would be nice to have a day without pain. And as soon as that thought arises, I say, get out of here. Because thinking like that is not at all going to help me. So they had told me beforehand, expect pain. And as you're recovering, you have to exercise, you have to move your body, you have to do different exercises, and you have to push through the pain. Of course, not if it's excruciating, but some pain you have to push through to get better. And so, of course, I want to get better. So you just work with the pain. It is what it is. And, I had a lot of pain before the surgery because of the arthritis in my hip. That pain was very different than this pain from the surgery. I think because the pain from the surgery is pain knowing that I'm getting better. Whereas the pain before the surgery from the arthritis itself, you're not going to get better. Arthritis only gets worse. So it hasn't been at all, debilitating or making me depressed or anything like that. You just keep on going and living your life and doing things. So I'm sleeping more than usual, but I get up in the morning. I don't sleep during the day. I'm still working, writing, dealing with things, talking to people, and so on, although trying to stay quieter, because it's very clear that you have to divide your time between exercising so you recover and resting so that the body can heal from the surgery. So in the middle of all of this, of course, we had an election. Yeah. My surgery was the day before the election, so I was somewhat out of it on election day, but since then have been tracking what's happening. And probably like many people, I've been totally shocked and horrified by what is going on. I don't know anymore what is legal and what is illegal, because it seems to me that actions that are illegal are now being accepted as legal. Yeah, and this is certainly not good for the country at all. When I think of the actions of some of the people in power, and then the actions of the enablers who support all of that, it's very easy, automatically you think of the Dharma, at least I do, and how the Buddha emphasized the importance of ethical conduct and refraining from the 10 non-virtues. And especially in Nagarjuna's Precious Garland, he talks so much about the importance of telling the truth. And so looking at the harm that is done to the whole country, as well as to individuals, when people don't keep good ethical conduct. So that's one part. And, of course, we notice that it would be very easy to then get angry at the people who are not keeping good ethical conduct. Yeah, it would be so easy just to get angry at them. What I try and do is I point out the actions, I point out the mental states that I don't think correspond with our purpose in life or correspond with ethical conduct or compassion, but not to criticize the people themselves, because the people themselves have Buddha nature. But when I look at the situation from another perspective, okay, people are creating all this negativity, And that's one thing, because those actions will ripen in suffering in the future for them. But I think what really makes me sad is that they are so unaware of this. Like the whole perspective of our actions having an ethical dimension and us creating the results for what we ourselves will experience either later this lives or in future lives, and just how pervasive the ignorance is that people not only create negativity, but are completely blinded by ignorance as to what the results of that will be for themselves personally and for everybody else in the long term. So there's lessons in here for us to learn. And for me, the primary lesson is to be careful about my own ethical conduct. Yeah, because it has a spiritual dimension that will influence me. So in particular, like right now with the surgery, I'm experiencing pain. So I often try and think, oh, this pain is the result of my previously created negative karma. Okay, I don't know what I did in what lifetime, but it was something non-virtuous that I'm experiencing this pain now. But it's also good because now this karma is ripening and it will not obscure my mind anymore. So you can see that if you have a Buddhist worldview, you can deal with these kinds of things. You know, when pain comes, when suffering comes, without getting angry and blaming other people, without feeling sorry for yourself. You just somehow deal with it. And also, what I learned from this is to say, you know, if I say, okay, these kinds of actions produce suffering, in my previous lives, who knows what I've done? So it's very important for me to do a lot of purification now, because I don't remember all the negative actions I've done. Surely I've done them. So it's important to purify. And not only purify, it's really important to make a very strong determination not to do those actions again. Because if I don't like the result, which is pain and suffering, even if my pain and suffering right now is going to help me to walk better and bring something good, still it's produced by negativity. You know, if I don't like that result, then I need to stop creating the causes. And that entails, first of all, stop blaming other people for things I don't like, accept my own responsibility for creating the causes of what I experience, and making a very strong determination to try and practice better, especially to keep good ethical conduct, and especially to try and be as compassionate as possible. So I'm thinking a lot about that during this period too. So I think maybe that's a little update on how I am, and I thank everybody very much for all of your support, for all of your kindness, for your prayers, and let's all practice together and be of great benefit for all living beings.